So this talk is when did Einstein know of the Filon Pearson demon? There were a lot of mysteries of Einstein as to what were his information sources that he was working from. Mysteries because he did not cite his information sources. So did he know about the Filon Pearson demon? And if he knew of that demon, when did he know? So according to this website by Professor Norton, Einstein recalled at the age of 16 he imagined chasing after a beam of light, and that thought experiment had played a memorable role in his development of special relativity. So Einstein would have been about 16 in 1895, so presumably that's when he had this idea, and it was pretty much a foundation thought experiment for his theory of relativity. So Einstein was supposed to have thought up his thought experiment of chasing a beam of light, but maybe he did get it from somewhere else, ? Here's a picture of Einstein chasing after a beam of light. This site lists the scientific demons. It's a bit small print here. It says in thought experiments, a scientific demon is an imagined being, a scientific metaphor of sorts, tending to be in possession of an extremely heightened intellect that is able to do superhuman calculations of different varieties, often able to predict the future and or the past. Some have categorized the study of these types of scientific demons, namely Maxwell's demon and so forth. And so what of particular interest is the Filon Pearson demon. And this is what it says about the Filon Pearson demon. It's a superluminal relativistic Maxwell demon. So basically we're talking here of somebody like a Superman who's able to travel at the speed of light. And he gives those following references for it. So it says in Scientific Demons, the Filon Pearson demon is a superluminal relativistic colleague of Maxwell's demon. In about 1843 to 1853, an anonymous pamphlet entitled The Stars and the Earth, Thoughts on Space, Time and Eternity appeared that, according to John Poynting, digressed on the physical possibility of the idea of magnifying or reducing time. In 1898, Einstein contemplated his famous running alongside a beam of light thought experiment. In about 1898, the Filon Pearson version of the demon was conceived by Louis Filon and described, or rather elaborated on in more detail, by Filon's mentor Carl Pearson in 1900 as follows. Irreversibility of natural processes is purely a relative conception. History goes forward or backward according to the relative motion of events and their observer. Conceive a colleague of Clerk Maxwell's demon, gifted with an immensely intensified acuteness of sight, so that he could watch from enormous distances the events of our Earth. Now suppose him to travel away from our Earth with a velocity greater than that of light. Clearly all natural processes and all of history would for him be reversed. Men would enter life by death, would grow younger and grow simpler. Evolution would be reversed, and the Earth, growing hotter and hotter, would at last become nebulous. Shortly by motion to or from the Earth, our demon could go forward or backward in history, or with one speed, that of light, live in the eternal now. My note is there was a typo there. Pearson concludes this footnote by commenting that this conception of historical change of time as a problem in relative motion was suggested to me by Louis Filon, and is, I think, of much interest from the standpoint of pure relativity of all phenomena. Of note, the above footnote comes from the expanded 1900 second edition. It could be remotely possible that the above footnote is also found in the 1892 edition, and I don't think it is. And the writer is doubtful as well. This, however, seems doubtful, being that Filon completed his BA course in 1896, meaning that he would have entered college in about 1892 or thereabout, after which time he is said to have come into connect with Pearson. Related is possibly independent, or possibly independent to the above. 1916 American prodigy William Sidus, in his The Animate and the Inanimate, penned a similar second law themed reversibility theory of nature. It says also the following. It talks about an artistic rendition of the Filon Pearson demon, and that picture's not there anymore. And it's a colleague of Maxwell's demon with intensified acuteness that is able to run both at the speed of light and faster than the speed of light, conceived in large part by French-born English applied mathematician Louis Filon in Syria, 1898, and elaborated on by his mentor Carl Pearson in 1900, a thought experiment read by Einstein in 1902, who states that he had contemplated a similar running along a beam of light thought experiment in 1895. As per this article, it's suggesting that Einstein might have got the idea of E equals mc squared from an Italian. Einstein didn't cite his source as being this Italian, but he might have just taken it without citing it, and it ends up a lot of arguing whether Einstein independently thought this idea E equals mc squared, or whether he read it from this Italian. So Einstein's thought experiment of chasing a beam of light he might have got from an obscure idea of the Filon Pearson demon, but if he did, he didn't cite it as a reference. And I think this paragraph is a bit deceptive. Einstein read Pearson's book presumably in 1902, as stated, and Einstein was claiming that his light chasing thought experiment was in 1895, but I don't think he was acknowledging to anyone as going on some written record that what he read in 1902 was similar to what he thought in 1895. Finished the end. Thank you.